Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good to have you all joining us again for one of these weekly calls. Today, we have a lot to update you on some things that we're learning and finding, particularly in the space of mental health that we're going to be sharing. Talking a little bit about the Uniting for Ukraine program development and things that we're learning, and just projections as to what kind of needs we have as a community to be able to address the opportunities. And I don't just want to call it the challenges, but the opportunities that we're going to be facing together. So today we don't have Blake with us to give us the updates. So I'll primarily be running most of the presentation. And with that, I'm going to just go quickly into where we are in terms of arrival updates. And you know, the last time we met, we were expecting a significant number of arrivals. So since then, we've had about 23 individuals arrive, about 14 cases. We anticipate that there will be more arrivals coming in. We just don't know when. We have seen an uptick and we continue, but at this point, we don't know what that number is going to look like, but we expect that there would, as it has traditionally been the case, that we see an increase in number of arrivals in the summer. But this month alone, we have had over 37 arrivals, and it's just the 20th. We envisage the next notifications that we have arrivals in August. What we envisage is that there will be a significant number of arrivals then. Interesting numbers with reference to job placements. So since October 2001, when we saw this huge increase in arrivals, we have had 167 job placements, which is significant, with about 51 different employers. One of the strategies that we've tried to implement in this process is look for employers that are hiring more than one case, because it's easier to manage that. But we've had 51 different employers engaging this 167 job placements that have been reported to us, because there could be some that have not been reported to us, but this is significant. Also, with the average wage inching up close to $16 an hour is also something that's impressive. As we have been working towards like we said, we went from resettlement and then, dealt with moving people into permanent housing. Jobs became the next thing. But once people settle into that, mental health becomes actually a crucial piece of the work that we do. If we can go on to the next slide here. I'm not sure who's moving this. Yeah. So we have this success story that we intend to share, and it's care access for new Americans. And I'm mindful if Rosie from the social work department is on the team, she can jump in to talk a little bit more about this. But the statistics that we have are very impressive based on the work that has been done. Of 207 clients that have been screened for mental health services, 38% of them scored positive on the screening, indicating behavioral health needs. So typically when that happens, they are referred. 94% of those engaged in case management or therapy achieved the expected outcome. 87% of individuals referred to therapy achieved an outcome. So this is a great success story. I also see that Rosie is here. So Rosie, if you want to chime in, or you can jump in at any time. But this is quite impressive based on the work that you and your team have been doing. You can go on to the next slide here. And we can talk about further this story in terms of the observations that have been made, in terms of a newly arrived woman from Afghanistan was referred for. Okay. Who this is who? Amina, are you moving the slides on me? Rosie, please chime in here whilst we're waiting for that technical.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ray. It's, mental health is often something we talk about in the context of challenges. So it's really wonderful to have this opportunity to talk about the outcomes and the wonderful successes that we've seen through this program as a result of the support through, in this case, St. Louis City Mental Health Board. I think the data speaks for itself, but sometimes more powerful is an example from one of our participants in the program. And this is the story of a newly arrived woman from Afghanistan who was referred to our team after receiving a mental health screening. And there were a number of needs. I won't read everything out on the slide, but after talking with our team, she opted to get involved in not only our behavioral health case management, but also a behavioral health literacy group for Afghan women. And over time, this individual went from being someone very hesitant to speak or participate in the groups to not only attending every single group over a 6-month period, but going on to become a leader in the group itself. We can go on to the next slide. So from the program, from involvement, she became a leader. And not only that, was able to implement some new coping mechanisms that she learned through the work with our facilitator and case manager, learned how to utilize public transportation, how to navigate the healthcare system, and really has demonstrated growth. And I think this quote speaks for itself. I now feel less alone in this community and more supported. And so just wanted to, again, thank St. Louis City Mental Health Board for their support, and also the entire behavioral health team for their amazing work in supporting our new arrivals. I'll also add a plug that we are now expanding services to include services for youth ages 6 to 18 through our behavioral health team, and folks are welcome to reach out to me with questions about that after.
Thank you very much, Rosalind. Rosalind is the Director of Social Work here at the International Institute. And Rosalind has dropped her email. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to her. We'll also be taking questions, and I can pause here if there are any questions that anyone would want to ask Rosie. Please feel free to ask that now, and then we will continue with the next segment, which is update on the Uniting for Ukraine program. And I'll be monitoring the comment section if questions do arise that we need to address. But I think that's really incredible work that's being done by the team, and providing support for our new arrivals and getting this kind of story and feedback from them is impressive. So thank you to the team and everybody that has been working behind the scenes to make that happen. About Uniting for Ukraine, this is a program that I know we've seen a lot of interest being generated recently, as we also are figuring out the best way that we, the International Institute, can really be of support. And we do get updates on the number of applicants that have been made, the applications that are being made. As you know, the Uniting for Ukraine initiative is designed by a sponsorship model, meaning that individuals or families can sponsor individuals from outside the country. And the numbers which were on the slide before just demonstrate, if we can go back to that slide, And I'll talk a little bit about that. Those numbers show the number of applications that have been received. And they're actually broken down by zip code, so we can see where those arriving as settling. If we can go back to the slide, I think Carlos, you're running the slides. If you can go back to the numbers, because I want to talk a little bit about those. If you can hear me. Yes, okay, thank you. So based on what we are seeing in terms of the various application areas where the applications are coming, various states, Missouri ranks 23rd in applications that are received, with about 264 of those applications in the St. Louis area. We have the zip codes and we have the breakdown in the number of applications there. Means that so far, based on what we have received at the International Institute, I think we have received about 80 families that have done an 18 that have done an intake with us, and that we're making determinations in ways in which we can serve them. That tells us that there is about 220 or so, or 30 families that will be approved, because we're seeing only a 3% decline in those applications. Most of the applications are being approved. So this number is already a potential number that we are going to serve. Next slide, please. How are we providing service to them? This is what we would like everyone to know. As with Federal Refugee Services, the International Institute is the only organization that provides federal services to Ukrainians in the St. Louis region. Those services do not include resettlement assistance. So resettlement assistance is what happens in those first 90 days in a normal refugee arrival. So we're not providing housing for the team and all those services that we would normally provide for them. However, they have access to certain other benefits. So each case is going to differ based on the need. And we encourage anyone who runs into a family that has sponsored somebody to send them towards the International Institute for us to do an intake and an assessment of how we can help them with the various programs that are offered. And some of those programs, if we go on to the next slide, include available benefits would be cash assistance benefits. So that the matching grants, we've actually had some people signed up for some of these benefits. So those benefits are there. If these families arrive, they can take advantage of those benefits, and it will just facilitate their integration into society. Medical assistance benefits are also being offered. Other services are job placement, helping with job placement, benefits and enrollment management as well, ways in which we can provide support, as well as intensive care management. So these are benefits that are available if those families reach out to us. If they don't, they will not be having access to something that they are entitled to have access. We're also aware, and I know that there is a meeting coming up on Monday where we know that the federal government is considering expanding support to our Ukrainian friends that are moving into the United States. We hope that we're going to get an update next week and subsequently share with you what that expansion will look like. But invariably, we can see from the projected numbers that we're going to see a significant increase in Ukrainians that are settling in the St. Louis area. Any questions with reference to this, and we can go on to the next item on our schedule. Well, seeing none, obviously, I'm going to turn this over to our community engagement team. I'll turn this over to Kelly. Hoping Kelly's here. to talk about the Festival of Nations that's coming up in about 40 days. Kelly?
Oh my gosh, is it really only 14 days? No.
40. 40.
Oh, 40. For a minute
Yeah.
there, I had a slight. Well, good afternoon, good morning. What is it? Morning, afternoon. I'm so excited to be here and with you all on this virtual platform. We are excited that Festival of Nations is coming back in live in Tower Grove Park. So, you know, we have a brand new logo. There it was. We've got many of you who are on this call. I am going to assume that you've been to the festival or at least have heard of it. So we'll just go through these beautiful slides. We are still looking for volunteers. We are still looking for sponsors. Any amount of support is helping us really have this festival available to the community. So we have over, I believe we talked about it yesterday, over 50 entertainers coming in. We have over 45 food booths, and I believe it's over 35 craft vendors thus far. So we are excited. If you have anybody, or if you want to reach out to anybody on your behalf for us about sponsorships, Melissa George is the woman that you can talk to with. Next slide, Carlos. Oh, okay. Well then, tech drive. We had this amazing tech drive last weekend. This was brought to us with the help of T-Mobile and our Afghan support program, and we were able to distribute 36 packages. And when I say packages, we were able to give them a cell phone, a iPad, and a hotspot. And what is really fascinating about this hotspot is that it is able to be in their homes for 2 years, and they are able to have multiple devices using it at the same time. So here are some fabulous pictures. We had a core team of people helping out. T-Mobile came in and gave everybody the rundown of how it will all work. And this is really taking us to a new level of supporting our new Americans, as we believe that technology is such an integral part of everyone's lives, that these options will help them obtain jobs, retain jobs. We all know how much communication schools are sending out via emails and whatnot. So for those who have children, this is an essential item in their home. So
Kelly, if you don't mind, I'll just jump in to also extend our gratitude to the St. Louis Community Foundation through the Welcome Fund that they support us in this initiative in partnering with T-Mobile to provide this mobile phones and hotspots, and to say that this takes a huge burden off the families, because for 2 years they can invest the money that they would have been using to pay phone bills and utility bills and internet connection bills, can invest that in a child's education or other things that will help them to be successful. We hope that we will continue to find the resources to expand this program and make this a standard for every person that will welcome and resettle through the International Institute. That's our hope, and that's what we're working towards.
So as I also mentioned, you know, this was the initial drive, so we kept the attendance at a level that we could take. So every Friday moving forward, we will be inviting more families to come and receive their items. So as Array mentioned, we're really hoping that this takes us up to a new level. This will be the normal. This won't be a special thing anymore. This will be something that the Institute can do for all families who arrive. So that's the goal. That's our hope. So it was a huge success. I think people were all smiles, and it was great to have so many contributing partners make this event a successful event. Next slide, Carlos. One of my favorite slides of the presentation is getting to thank all of you. So we're continuing to see support from lots of entities. I'm really happy to pronounce St. Jude Catholic Church has still got the memo about grocery gift cards, and so we're getting those still. Obviously, T-Mobile assisted us with our tech drive, as well did St. Louis Community Foundation. So that was fabulous. The Sisters of the Most Precious Blood recently gave us a truckload of furniture, anticipating for our new arrivals. And we continue to have a growing collaboration partnership with Operation Food Search. The last 3 weeks, they have been, no, 2.5 weeks, I believe. It's a 3-week program where we are able to offer our youth program and anybody in the neighborhood a lunch option. So we have opened our doors in the cafeteria to our youth and neighborhood kids for lunch. So lots of things going on. We are grateful for all of you who keep on connecting us to people and making things happen. So I was joking recently with my coworker that we were kind of in a slowdown period, and the minute I said slowdown period, the next week I was underwater yet again. So I love all of this action, and it's really inspiring to have so many partners out there. Carlos, I'll let you take it here from now.
Thanks, Kelly. Great to see everyone this afternoon. Sorry for some of the technical challenges as I'm running this. But just wanted to give a quick update on volunteer and community support. We do have additional community volunteer orientations coming up on Saturday, July 30th here at the International Institute. This is a great way for the community and the public to learn more about the work that goes on and supporting our new arrivals. We have an exciting event coming up on August 6th, the Metro Market with Operation Food Search that will be here at the International Institute parking lot. Which is the converted bus that acts as a grocery store on wheels that will be here from 1 to 3 p.m. Not only is it a chance for our new arrivals to experience grocery shopping with this unique resource, but also for the neighborhood and the general public to access as well. So we invite everyone who would like to participate and come by the International Institute here on August 6th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Also, just a reminder, as mentioned earlier, that the Festival of Nations is happening this August 27th and 28th at Tower Grove Park. We still would love to see more volunteers and everyone's support coming up here as it returns to Tower Grove Park. Just reminder that we do have more opportunities on our website to volunteer, some that are listed here, as well as we're still looking for box fans and irons and laundry detergent, as well as diapers that can be contributed here at the Institute, as well as continuing to accept grocery gift cards to Aldi and Schnucks, as well as we appreciate everyone's contributions to our TAO fund, which goes directly to supporting new arrivals, refugees here in St. Louis. So again, we appreciate everyone's support and continued support in our ongoing efforts. And yeah, just more information, feel free to check out our website at the International Institute/volunteer for youth programming, volunteer groups. There's some direct contacts with Catherine and Chrissy. And then to donate, go to International Institute/donate. And again, just want to share our social media channels for extending our reach and amplifying the message. Also, our Festival of Nations event page has been posted via our Facebook page, as well as content that's continually shared through our social media mechanism. So thanks again, everyone, and I'll hand it back over to Ari.
Thank you very much, Carlos and Kelly, for that community engagement piece. I want to overemphasize and Elizabeth, George, please, thank you for sharing that list of those who contributed to the Welcome Fund, the Lutheran Foundation, the Marillac Mission Fund, Incarnate World Foundation, and the several other foundations and individual donors that contributed to that Welcome Fund. That $57,000 we received was put to great use. We saw the excitement one of the Afghan families came to me saying that he was just going to disconnect the phone that he was using that was on a chip from somebody else. You know, it's transformational for these people, and we've just been having more questions. Every family is going to have a phone and an iPad. It's planned out for the next 4 weeks. But we just wanted to do it in an organized way, because it takes time to set up these phones. If you've ever been to a T-Mobile store, yeah, we wanted to make sure that we didn't spend the whole day trying to do it. So every Friday afternoon, I think we're going to continue the distribution of the phones. It's great. Some of you may be reading in the next few days that there would be a press conference that is going to be organized at the airport with reference to an arrival of an Afghan family that is originating from Albania via New York for medical reasons and would be in St. Louis. There will be definitely an update we're going to send to this group in advance of that press conference on Monday, but it's something that is being worked out. And since we have the opportunity to be talking now, I just thought I should let you know. And this would be a prelude, hopefully, to several other arrivals that may be coming out of Albania that is still being worked through the system. But a press conference is envisaged just to keep the community appraised with this development. We don't have all the details now to share, but I wanted to make sure that this group knew. And if this works out, then our efforts as a community in trying to attract more Afghans to St. Louis will be yielding fruits, and so we may be in a position of seeing and welcoming more Afghans to the St. Louis community. But you will be receiving an update with reference to that press conference by this weekend, and it will be done on Monday. At this time, I'm going to pause for any questions or comments, and if there's anyone on the International Institute team that has announcements to make, it can be done at this time. Well, we'll check it. Well, seeing none, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I hope that the information was valuable. As always, we'll send out the PowerPoint, but please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, without which we'll see you 2 weeks from now. Thank you very much, everybody.